Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part one. Same name, but part one. So if you didn't catch the first one, you might want to watch it first. We've traced this logo. We're trying to make it look like this. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do this text. So what we need to do the text, we need to left click, right click, and make that dragon and outline. Now we're going to take our text and nudge it over, and we're going to left click, right click. And what this is going to do, it's going to give us a reverse engraving where the letters will not be touched by the dragon wheel. So now we need to take our dragon and fill it back in. And actually, well, it doesn't matter. I want to say I want to move it over, but we can get rid of all the outline. Should be able to in just a second. So now we need to fill in the inner parts of the letters. And this just takes a second. And we don't want any lines in it. I think we're good. So now I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier. I'm going to select the whole thing, and I'm going to left click no outline. What that did, let me back up here. What that did, it made it quite a bit thicker. If we look, and then I'm going to, right click, watch the text get a little thicker. And the whole dragon, because we got rid of the outline. Now, this is a white ring. As you can see, we're going to go ahead and go object, order, front of page. And that's what we want. But we don't want white, so we're going to left click, right click, and make a line. And once again, I shouldn't have filled it in yet, because we're going to take all this and we're going to left click, right click, and then bring our line or circle in. And now we can use the Smart Fill tool to fill in the dragon, because we don't want that interior part to show anyway. So I kind of missed a step there, I guess. And we'll have to fill these back in, but once we take away the line, you'll see the difference, because then everything else will go on top of the dragon. Almost through. Whoop, got off my mark there. And then just kind of always look at it and make sure you're good. So we don't need that inner circle. Matter of fact, we could try. It's not going to really matter. We could delete these lines. We do not need these lines. They shouldn't interfere. I'm hoping I'm not messing up here. And now grab it all again and right click, no outline. So that made our text thicker. So now we're on our way. We've got our circle. Now we need to take this orange looking circle and nudge it over, but we're going to make it black. We're going to take this other circle and just nudge it over and see what it looks like. It doesn't really need it. I'm going to take this white circle and nudge it out of the way. Well, that might make it a little different. So that'll make it pretty cool. It's a color, it's not a hairline. Now we're going to nudge over these black spots. And what that did is getting rid of all that white. And then we're going to nudge over these rings. We're going to nudge over that black spot, and there's a little bit of a black spot there. Nope, that's part of the king. So now what we need to do is I'm going to make my yellow box a little bigger this way. And I'm going to, if you don't ever change your nudge to anything, you can nudge stuff over left, right, or up or down. Let's get rid of this green and move it over. We can just delete it. We don't need it. Now let's get the deer and nudge him over all the parts of the deer. And we could really just use this deer, but we want a little bit of contrast. So I'm going to have to go off the screen, grab the deer, and make him black, and then nudge it over to the center. We're almost there. Look how good that looks. The king, and I would play around with that a little bit. Maybe if his eye was missing, I'd look at the original, which I've already deleted, which I shouldn't have. Always try to keep your original on the page. Now let's do the king, and let's nudge it over to the left. Let's just go ahead and nudge the whole thing over. And you can see it's kind of made up in sections. And let's try to take that and left click, no outline, no color. It's still got a hidden artifact there. We can just delete those yellows. You know, really and truly, let's go to object, break the curve apart. Wow, I think that looks good. Let's get rid of that line. I would leave it just like that and then just nudge it over. I nudged over my yellow box. Whenever you have trouble like that, just, now we got a little bit of problem with that black. So we can't nudge that over. That black was kind of hidden. So what we can do with that black, we can left click, right click, nudge it back over, and now we can fill in just the part of the black that needs to be black, like right there. And now we can grab it and right click, no outline, or try to grab the box itself and just delete it. I think that's a winner. I think that looks really good. I don't see any problem. So everything that's yellow, if you're going to engrave this on wood, everything that's in yellow will not be touched by the laser, and everything that is black will be burnt. Now, I must have missed a part of the A. I don't know if we can do this or not. Let's ungroup it. Break curve apart. Whoop, that ain't going to work. So I either missed that part of the A, or what you could do, and you could move that out of the way and actually take that little bit apart and make a duplicate of it. This would be the quick fix. And then see, here it is right here. I'm going to take away my yellow for a second so I can see it better. Matter of fact, I'm going to turn it red so I can see it when I get it over here. And we're going to fix that real quick and make it look good. I must have just missed it. And then make it black. Wow. There's another one right there. So you could just make a duplicate of that guy and move it over. Then zoom in. And this is we're already through. So let's change our, without selecting anything, we can change our nudge factor to 0.00. Well, let's go 0.001. And let's zoom in on that A. Sometimes it's a lot easier to nudge. So we can get it pretty close, and then you can minutely nudge it up and down to where you think it needs to be. I think that is I would maybe fix that right there. Maybe delete that node. Didn't really change anything. It just had a sharpness. Unless that's their logo and you want it like that. You know, there's a little peak right there. I'd delete that node, make a more rounded item. Anyway, and then group it all together, Control G, and because we have no lines, or shouldn't have any lines, because I didn't scale anything to object, you should be able to make it any size you want. And then I would look at that deer and see if I missed an eye. But when you engrave this, I don't think it's really going to matter. That's a really good, that king came, look at the difference in the king. I like my new one a lot better. So for the one I'm doing it for, I'm going to send you this. I'm going to go ahead and send it to you. I don't like doing files for people. I like teaching them how to do it. But with this one, it came out so perfect, I want to send it to the young lady. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.